The end of the year is upon us, but the end of the row about banking bonuses is certainly not. To tell us what twists and turns we can expect from this controversy in 2010, we're joined now from Zurich by David Costa. He's a professor at the Robert Kennedy College. Good morning to you, David, and Merry Christmas. Let me ask you, first of all, where you stand on the bonus debate.
Well, I think the bonus debate has to be seen more entirely. I mean, there have been a lot of political moves now to dampen or scratch entirely bonuses. But the problem is we need to get an understanding on how really the banking business works. How it works is that in the banking business, to be competitive, you need to be able to retain the best talent and hire the best talent. There is a lot of competition, and without being able to pay bonuses, you won't be able to retain the best talent. So, ironically, some of the government which are now putting in these measures are basically hurting themselves with the possibility to receive their payback as soon as possible.
They're hurting themselves, but they're a bit silly, aren't they? Because have they missed a beat here? I mean, governments could have perhaps taken action and got bigger concessions from the banks when they had all of them over a barrel before they bailed them out.
Yes, I mean, if we look, for instance, at the Swiss model, here we had not really a bailout, but we had a loan from the government to the main bank, UBS, and this loan had been repaid with more than $1 billion profit. And so I think that these governments need to understand that if you have made an intervention in a bank, you need to receive your money back and somehow be able to step back and not interfere with the day-to-day operations. We have seen in the United States many of the banks repaying the TARP money exactly for this reason, and I do expect those banks to have a very good 2010 because they will be capable in this way not just to retain the best talent but also to increase dividends and attract get more interest from investors.
But David, everybody seems to agree, even the bank managers themselves, or at least they say they do, that something's got to give here. Something's got to change as far as bankers' compensation. So if governments can step in and regulate, and if you say that people need their bonuses in order to attract the best talent and make profits, then what can be done? Should governments be looking at taking away some of the activities that the banks are allowed to do, like proprietary trading, for example?
Well, that would certainly be very drastic. I think obviously there needs to be a measure, there needs to be some limits. But to some degree, we have seen in the past the board of those banks being pretty sleepy. So I think the first responsibility is to the board to act in the interest of shareholders and really decide when is really the case to pay some bonuses and within certain reasons, and when compensation really get out of hand. And that's what caused a lot of dismay among the public and among the voters as well. So I think there has to be some limitations. Whether it's the government which has to enact those limitations, I'm not entirely sure, because there are both shareholders and boards which have to function. Obviously, if the government is the major shareholder, they can certainly take action to reduce the bonuses or limit them until the bank is again 100% private and on its own.
David Costa, professor at Robert Kennedy College, joining us there from Zurich. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, President Barack Obama could be about to get his Christmas